Welcome to the AlphaCast Weekly Watchlist, where the recipes never change and the sauce and chicken you love so much will stay the same. Pack. What's good? Where my dogs at? It's your boy FICO Jordan, back again for another weekly AlphaCast watch list. Thank you for tuning in. I got the bros in the building. I got the homie from around the way, investing for legacy.
Let's go at it.
We got the homie, Mr. Check My Resume.
It's good. Let's go.
We got the homie in the anchor, Mr. Boss Gang VIP.
What up? What up? Y'all already know what it is, man. Let's get it.
What up, bros, man? How y'all doing, man? Starting the weekend off, man. Y'all had a wonderful week?
For sure. Great one in Alpha Pack. Doing good. Can't complain over here. How about you, fellas?
Yeah, man. I think the week went, kind of like it, as I was thinking in terms of, the different setups, we were anticipating to go. Like Boscan always say, man, it ain't what the market doing, it's what your play's doing. So this was one of those weeks where it was really about your individual plays that you was playing. So it went pretty good, man, in terms of the setups and things of that nature, man. So just happy about that, man. 0 day was executed pretty well. So, yeah, man, it was a good week. First week for the promo. So, it's all positive.
Great views so far.
Right. Yeah, man. What about you, Boss Gang? What's up, bro?
Man, week was good. Super smooth. I'm happy for the people who got to come in and experience Alpha Pack trading and how we get down for the first time. And, people get in the zone for 5 minutes and they tell us how much they're loving it. It's a good vibe. We got good people around. So I'm sure everybody was pleased, the current members as well as the new people who decided to come visit with us. So it was an amazing week, and we don't expect anything less than that for the next week coming up.
Man,
Sir.
Absolutely. Now, before we go ahead and get into these setups real quick for the week, obviously across the board, things look super sweet. Lots of opportunity. So we know the list is going to be fire. Now, I want y'all's opinion on if you're really looking at the way things look. Like, we see a lot of 2 weeks. We see some hammers set up. We see some hammers forming on the month. Like, a lot of TA traders are looking at the fact that outside, what we look at is outside year, boom. But that outside year apparently is lining up with a 200 EMA. So they like, ooh, this is the bounce. This is the bottom. What do you all think is the reasoning behind why TA traders completely disconnect what is happening in the actual stock market from what is happening in the real world? Like, they don't even consider the fact that Powell's talking about 100 BPS rate hike. Like, that don't even concern them. It bounced off the 200 EMA. It's going back up. Like, what is the reasoning for this?
Yeah.
I think it was just what they've been taught. Like, that's it. I mean, who? Exactly. Where, if somebody wants to go online and learn about fundamentals and where would you go? There's no place to go and actually learn that. So a lot of people don't think for themselves. Only thing they can do is look at a bunch of technical numbers as if, things in real life don't actually matter. So the thing about us is we come together and we consider ourselves pretty intelligent, and we actually like to think out the market more than just look at a bunch of random squiggly lines across the chart, and things have to make sense. So a lot of times people lose because they're trying to execute things that don't actually make sense, and then they kind of wonder why they're not working. So yeah, it's just what they've been taught. A lot of people just simply don't know what they don't know. So they're gonna go for what they know. If they knew better, they'd do better. Simple as that.
Man, that's the truth. Man, resume. what we have a lot of issues right now, obviously, that's occurring at the same time. We have the gun legislation in New York. We have Supreme Court, basically ripping up the paperwork on Roe versus Wade. We got protesting happening out in the streets like crazy. At the end of the day, why are we seeing individuals so biased to wanting everything to go along? Like, I was upset. I want this thing to keep tanking. Like, I've become full bear almost. Like,
I've been noticing that.
Yeah, you gotta think about a lot of the retail folks came in during the pandemic, during the Trump, Trump hop on, do a little press, boom, boom, bam, run up real quick, market go crazy. You know what I mean? They used to that environment where like you could just cover your eyes and like play talk. So like now it's like it's acting like a real market. So I mean, hey, that's all it is to me. So I just think people, just the newer ones, have been taught that way. The ones that are more seasoned, they just cautious as hell. They don't want to pull the trigger on nothing. So
this is, things are cheap, but I like them cheaper. I'll be honest. There is one of my favorite musical artists. Let me see. I would like things much, much cheaper. One of my favorite musical artists, if you don't know, I'll go ahead and put a link to his song below. You can find it on all your DSPs. He said you had to buy low and sell high, and I really feel like we could get much lower than that. I want a deep discount. I don't know about you, but I'm certain that Boss Gang VIP 100% feels the same. So we had a very interesting week this week coming out of Juneteenth. TA traders, they are 100% going to give credit to the 200 EMA. We knew we would hit a pool of liquidity once SPY hit outside year. So the first thing we expect is, yes, we're going to have some retracement. That's how broadening formations work. We're going to get lower highs. Don't believe me? Come back and check this watch list out here in a couple weeks. Besides that, right now, if we go ahead and take a look at SPY, you'll see we did catch a 2-2 week. We are green on the week, green on the day, but you are seeing a red month, red quarter currently. Let's pull up our sectors and kind of go through and see how things kind of shaped up. You can really see where they're putting the money at in terms of rotation. We're getting a new 6-month candle set. We are getting a new quarter coming up here in, what are we looking at, 4 days. So we have 4 days this week before we get the 1st of July. So we've already passed through halfway point of the year, and so things should really get rather interesting now that we have a full uncoupling, especially with that 6-month candle separating itself. So right now you can see here with discretionary, we are looking at same setup. It's going to go across the board. Let's go ahead and move through these pretty quick. We have red quarter, red month, green week, green day. On healthcare, same situation. Healthcare had a crazy run going into the week, 4 days straight, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. Look at that bar in the bottom right corner on the week. Just massive, almost hit target on the week. Setting up a hammer on the month. You want to see where the money resides? Healthcare definitely looks like it, especially coming out of this week. If we look at, let's see, if we look at utilities, similar situation. So we're looking at red quarter, red month, inside week. Look at that bar on utilities on the week. Crazy after taking out that quarterly pivot. Let's go ahead and pull up real estate. Green week, green day, green week, red month, red quarter. Similar situation across the board for consumer staples. Green day, green week, hammer month, and we're looking at outside bounce on the quarter. If we take a look at tech, we have a green day, green week, red month, red quarter. If we take a look at industrials, we have an inside week that's green, we have a green day, we have a red month, red quarter. With financials, same situation. Red quarter, red month, green week, green day. Now this was the difference. Energy has full time frame continuity to the downside still after hitting that yearly broadening formation, making its way down. So we could definitely see where they're not putting the money as of last week. Completely different situation around the market. Now, the one thing that we want you all to understand, and I'll get the bros' opinion on this here in a second, but nothing has fundamentally changed on an economic scale. Jerome Powell still gonna get that money back. The Fed rate hikes they're still going up. We still have conflict in the Middle East. We got cows dropping dead in the middle of the country. Like, ladies and gentlemen, it's straight pandemonium. Recession is coming. Don't get caught lacking. Take an opportunity as you see them. Play these broadening formations. Don't get tricked into thinking that we running right back up to all-time highs out of this rip just because we had a green week. Now, materials, we have a weekly green hammer, so you're gonna get plays across the board that are going to be showing you this looks sexy, like this looks fire, but the bros are gonna show you exactly where the money resides. So just to give you an update on the way things look with this last week of June, Boss Gang VIP, go ahead and tell the people, man, what is the almanac right now telling us in terms of what the market is looking going into this last week of June?
Absolutely appreciate it. So last week, according to the almanac, the market was supposed to be really, really, really bloody, or I won't even say supposed to be, it's just historically, meaning over 60% of the time. This week, we're actually expected to get some bullish activity. The last day of quarter two is bearish for the Dow, has been down 17 of the last 30, but up 8 of the last 10 is bullish for NASDAQ, up 21 of the last 29 sessions, and Friday is the first of the month, the first trading day in July. The S&P has been up 28 of the last 32 traded sessions with an average gain of 0.5%. So the market right now is very, very, very volatile. We don't necessarily want to be biased with any of our thinking, and with our methodology that we use, it allows us to play the market whether it's going up or down. And so we have actionable signals and ways to play everything. So with that being said, we're going to be conscious of all the different factors that can affect the market. We're going to be conscious of these new quarters, as FICO said. And with that being said, we're about to get to the money as always. Back to you, FICO.
So we're going to go ahead and get straight into the setups. Investing for legacy. I know you got some heat for us, bro. What you got on the board?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know how we coming. Welcome, YouTube and Pack family. I'm going to start with Blink. I'm going to kick it off with Blink. I'm loving what I'm seeing in EVs, and this EV sympathy play is looking good as well. A beautiful continuity to the upside right now. It's coming off a month broadening formation. It came off it 2 weeks ago, and this week I saw it bounce off of a weekly broadening formation. So I'm loving the entry above 1894, and if it goes 2 up on that day and that week and it breaks that level, I'll be looking forward to go 3 up on the month, and that will happen at $20.28. So Blink, that's one play I will be watching heavily. Next thing I want to bring up to the Pack family and the YouTube family is Airbnb. Watch this thing. This is on my daily list. Just because I'm an Airbnb investor. But I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing it bounce off a weekly and a monthly broadening formation. I see a strong hammer on the week, strong hammer on the 2-week time frame as well. You know, Pack love the 2 week. It's a gap ahead to 108.32. That would be my first target for Airbnb. My second target would be 125.51. I'm not too much of a fan how it's looking on the month or the quarter. So be disciplined with those stops, and it'll be an entry above that 104.18 is what I'm liking for Airbnb. Next, what I want to mention, I've been beating the drum on China for a few weeks now. I'm still loving the setup going into the next quarter. The only China play that I want to mention this week is JD. I believe my brother Wealthy Soon had them in particular on his watch list last week, so I know some of the Pac fam is already in it. But just I'm like that inside week. I love the entry above 65.04. And another thing I want to mention about China is Friday we will be having updates on deliveries, on EV deliveries for Lee, Neo, XPEV, and even Tesla as well. So updates on those monthly deliveries. So that can be some catalysts right there for EVs. And we already been seeing what Lee been doing, and XPEV as well, especially in the Alpha Pack. We've been all over those things. So that's what I'm looking at in China going into next week. And again, I mentioned already a little briefly about how EVs have been looking lately. I want to mention Smith & Wesson, SWBI. My brother FICO, he mentioned briefly about the Supreme Court ruling is definitely part of my catalyst for this play. It's moving nicely in force right now. Strong 3 up on the week, strong 3 up on the month, nice hammer on the month. It killed earnings last week, and it raised its dividends during that earnings. So that's a great catalyst. And also, it got a nice debut when it comes to Supreme Court in the Supreme Court last week in that New York situation. They were just trying to make gun laws more tighter in New York, and believe it went against the Constitution. So that was some bullish catalyst for SWBI. Some nice monthly contracts on those two. Next expiration is in like 20 days or so for the first contract on there. So I'm loving them. Give yourself some time, get to that money. My first target on SWBI is 1825. It'll be hitting around a monthly broad information around that point. So yeah, loving SWBI. Next one that I'm kind of surprised that I'm mentioning myself, but I'm going to mention it. Zoom. This Dow play right here. Zoom. I'm sorry. Actually, Zoom is in the Nasdaq. Excuse me for that. But it's moving in force, man. Looking good. Looking great. Nothing more to say about it, but just how much in force is moving, man. It's looking great. Full time frame continuity to the upside. I'm loving the entry above when it breaks above the day and the week level above 122.99. First target for them will be 127.37. Second target will be at 136. So some nice chicken to be made over there in Zoom if it continues to move in force. Something I could definitely get a weekly in or get a combo pack in. If you're in Alpha Pack, you know how to work those combo packs the right way and get over those style wows. Last thing I want to briefly mention is MU. Inside, all semis are looking kind of tasty, setting up for a nice meal sooner or later. At the bottom, have some nice broad information, some weekly broad information, and some monthly broad informations. And they have an inside week going. So we will be definitely watching semiconductors, especially after the impressive week that tech had last week. You got to be on the point with it, because I remember before our last little run within tech, semiconductors led the way. So typically semiconductors would pop before the rest of tech would, but it looks like going off last week, they're lagging right now. So you just got to be paying attention to all those type of things right now. And so I'll be watching semis for that inside week break and to see if it's some nice chicken there. I will be disciplined with my stops, because like FICO was saying, we're not too convinced that the bottom has actually been hit in Alpha Pack yet, but we ready for whatever. Back to you, FICO.
Appreciate that, Legacy. Wealthy Soon, man. You off the highway, man. What's the heat you got for the pack, bro?
Yo, 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 what's good, gang? Can you hear me, Fico?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so I got a lot on my list, so we just gonna roll through it. First thing, my top play for this week is gonna be Cisco, CSCO. I'm loving the setup that Cisco has, not only on the week but also on the month. Um, as Fico alluded to, we are going into a new quarter, so make sure that what you're looking for is on the macros. So on the week, we got a nice 2-1-2 potential setup from a hammer. And on the month, we have an inside month. We only got 5 days left for the month. So this month could actually, this week could turn this month green. Next one I got on the list is going to be JNPR, Juniper. This is a nice communications stock. The premiums move excellently. They had a great day on Friday. And so this would be just a continuation to target that 3 on the week, which is around 31.21. Next one we got is X. This is one that I'm just watching, just because of what I've seen materials do and how materials ended with a green hammer on the week. Right now it does have full time frame continuity to the downside. They do have a gap above it to fill. Hopefully it does go out the gate, but I wouldn't be mad to get a cheaper price. We got a bottom of a Brodner formation around 1550. So if I could get it there, I won't be mad. But like I said, I'm just gonna be watching this one. Another one we got is Laser, LAZR. I'm liking the setup on Laser. I think it has a daily setup. This one will be breaking the chop. It's been getting to around this almost sub $8 level and rejecting for like the last maybe week and a half or so. And once we break this level, we do have a gap above to fill. Laser kind of falls in line with the electric vehicle moves that's been going up. So I'll be watching that one. Another one we got is going to be Paramount, PARA. Last time I called this one out, this was 1000% play. It had a great day on Friday. Communications has been moving well. We have a hammer on the day, on the week. Potential 2-1-2 from the bottom of the Brodner formation with a gap above. So I'm liking this move right here on Paramount. Keeping it rolling. I'm also looking at Snap in the communication space. Snap had a pretty good week. And it looks like Snap could lead to a very good month. It almost has a hammer on the month. We got 5 days left, so we could do a 2-2 rev off the bottom of the Brodner formation. And this one definitely has some magnitude. And then we're going to switch over into some financials. I got 3 or 4 financials I like to look at. We got WFC. It's going to be Wells Fargo on the week. It was able to complete its 2-2 rev. This would be a continuation play to see if we can get it as a reversion to the means to the 44, 45 level. Kind of going inside with that, we have JPM. JPM has a better setup. JPM on the week, it did a failed 2 down and made a nice green hammer. So this will be a 2-2 rev off the bottom of a Brodner formation on the week with a gap above it. And then another one for our financial sector is going to be KRE. And if I go, I'm almost done with my list. KRE is another ETF for regional banking. It has a nice inside weak hammer, bottom of the Brodner formation. Once we break this 2-1-2, we're targeting the top of this 3, which is around $65. And then just to go through the rest of mine, if you are in Alpha Pack, you already know how I feel about KHC. I also want to just take notice of Carvana. Carvana has a nice setup as well as Macy's. And that's what I'm looking at this week. Oh, one more stock, BA. BA has a super fire setup on the macros. If you know, you know. Please take a look at BA. BA kind of messes around sometimes, but when it actually moves, the premiums pay well on a weekly setup. It's going to finally be breaking out of this chop, and we'll see what happens. Back to my guy FICO. Let's get this chicken.
Appreciate that, Wealthy Soon. Man, bro, you had some heat on there. I never thought, and I looked at Boeing Friday, seeing the setup that it was presenting, and I'm like, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but I might actually trade Boeing. If you know, you know. Boss Gang VIP, bro, what you got for us coming up this week?
Get it. Let's get it. So for me, I like to trade the same stocks over and over and over. I have tons of broad informations. I understand how the stocks respond. So first one, SWN. SWN, Southwestern Energy. That just fell 2 down in the week. One thing I like to do, I'm definitely a macro person. So I like to go all the way from the year to the quarter to the month and to the week. The reason I need to know what the institutions are doing. So if I see something continually going up year after year after year, whenever I get a pullback, to me, it looks like a buying opportunity. Southwestern Energy above $7.04. Looking to go long there. Premiums are inexpensive. This is 1,000% play. Last time we played this one, another one. Every time I look at SWN, I'm definitely always going to look at ET. Energy Transfer. So I'm looking for entries on Energy Transfer back to the upside. I'm looking at $10.12 on Energy Transfer. I like the levels on that one. Some I'm already in. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. PLTR, Palantonio Brown. One thing about Palantonio Brown, Palantonio or Palantir has been outperforming the market off the low. So when the market was down 0.5%, 6%, Palantir was constantly moving up the whole time. Hence, you see that green month that it has right there. So overall, I'm not sure how long these things will take off, but I'm seeing a level where it's been kind of rejecting, where I have broad information around that 16.25 level. Some cruise lines, NCLH, Norwegian. Let's see. So I got some levels on Norwegian at $13.27. Targets around $16. So we'll see what happens there. REAL is another ticker, the real. I'm looking at entries above $3.67. We got a pretty clean target about the $6 level, $5-6 level on REAL. One that I played tons and tons of times, International Gaming Tech, IGT. Got this off broad informations, couple monthlies. It started 2 down a month, push back up. So if this actually gets to moving in force, then I'm looking at entry above $21.31. Looking to take that potentially back to the $30 level. Again, we're in the downtrend, so we got to see what happens there. MGM had that 2 down week, so we'll see if it pushed back up, slight gap above. Looking for entries over $30.25 on MGM. I want to see if that's a failed 2 down on the year, if they're going to push back up. I'm not too confident in that, but we'll see. CZR looking for this 2-2 continuation on the week above $44.55. Looking at the price level, the target at just under about $54. So again, like we said on a lot of this stuff is still in a downtrend. HUSA, Houston America's Energy. I'm looking for an entry above $5.43. You see this had full time frame continuity on the year and the quarter and the month. So I'm actually interested in always in these macros, and especially these years, because for year after year after year, some things they're buying year after year, no matter what happens, and the pullbacks are entries, and some things they're continuing to sell down year after year. So even though you actually get these pops, and you might actually get pops per month, the overall trends are still going down. So just be conscious of that. I want people to start zooming out on the more on the macros and paying attention to what's happening over time, because the years actually do count, because this is what investors are looking at. So I want people to look at things the same way investors are looking at. Some things they're buying year after year, and some things they're not. So keep an eye on those things. That's all I got this week, FICO. Back to you.
Appreciate that, boss gang. Mr. Check My Resume. Running anchor today. What you got for us?
Let me hit him with that Usain Bolt. Hey, man, let's get it. All right, man. So right now, man, looking like the market's still showing some bullish signals, man. So we still got a little bit of room on SPY to get to the next broadening formation level where I see a rejection. So for the time being, man, we still looking bullish. So first setup I want to talk about. I don't think we're going to trend reverse, but I still think we short term still bullish. First one I want to talk about. Let's get into it. And I'm not going to have many today. I don't like when all those sectors have a lot of setups like that. It's just bait. But just some setups I like that's clean right now. I will say though, I feel like Boss Game does energies at this level where it bounces usually, so we'll see what happens with it. I think we're gonna get a bounce on some of these energy tickers. The setup may not be there just yet unless you take a micro play, but I'm feeling like it may try to creep on us this week. First ticker I want to talk about though is RCL, Royal Cruise Lines. Royal Caribbean, whatever it's called. All right, looking at this inside week on RCL, we came in contact with a monthly level broadening formation and responded as expected off of this level. Thinking similar to Boss Game with his NCLH alert, looking like we may get a push here. We've got room. Specifically on this one, I have to look at the weekly level, but the larger level macros, broadening formations, there's a pretty nice size gap here. So I need to go down to some lower time frames and see what other broader formations are in the way. But we've got room on this macro BS to like 65. So we'll see what's going on there. This is a key area. So I think we'll get a little bit of a turn here on RCL, but we'll see. Like that setup looks fire. Next one I want to talk about, actually investing for legacy brought it up, and that's Airbnb. I was looking at that setup, thinking that maybe one potentially that could go. And then airlines, I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I'll just bring up Delta, DAL. Delta's here hammering on the week inside. Again, if we are bullish this week, we should have an expectation that this one will push up. Again, we got continuity, we got conflict on the continuity side. So I'm not trying to think about this for a long time, only for a good time. So like I said, once we identify a level where the market is gonna decide to go ahead and come on back down, that would be an opportune time to think about considering exit. So you just got to monitor your plays and see how your positions are relative to the market. There will be some things that kind of slip through, as you can see how China has been popping. So there's going to be certain ones that will slip through. This is a stock pickers market right now. All right, next one. Hold on, I didn't give you a level. Sorry. Delta, we got this, what is this, 212 on the week above $31.29. This is all contingent upon this market being bullish. This is so we'll see how long this thing can run, but I think it's gonna break. I agree with my bro, Investor for Legacy, about the chips. I also think chips are gonna make a move. It's a good segue into the next trade I'm looking at potentially here, and that's on AMD. I know my bro pulled up, talked about MU, but I like AMD on the inside week. Like this level 87.53, above that for entry. We did have the outside month. I know that's one of FICO's favorites right there. You get the 3 down month with the bounce, and looks like that's what we're doing right here on the macro. So I'll be eyeballing that one. May have to lean into it, put my chin into it with that one. But I'll be watching AMD closely. Probably looking for a short-term move, maybe up to like the $93, $94 level. Not looking for nothing too crazy. All right, so that's AMD, like the chips there. There was a couple of, like, we played Visa on 0 day yesterday, but it broke the week level. There isn't a setup on it right now, unless you want to like take an intraday early. But MasterCard, if you go to MasterCard, this one here has a beautiful setup as well. I think this is inside. Yeah, still inside on the week. So you've got that entry on the week above 330.81. And we've got a bounce. This thing bounced off of a quarterly and monthly broadening formation last week, or actually the week before, and it's just been pushing up ever since. So I'll be looking at this one to kind of clear up to about the 350 level before it gets a rejection. So I'll be looking at that one as well. But again, all these plays, man, you just got to identify the broadening formations on these. I don't think any of these are gonna, not without the market being overall bullish. You're gonna see these short-term moves. You got to play them out to their broadening formation kind of thing. Next one, we're gonna jump over into staples. So that's enough for all the tech stuff and all that. Next one is getting the staples. We can get into K. Roger, Kroger. Like this boy here, Kroger. Looking at this potential 212 on the week. That's above $48.71. Got a nice bounce and response off the broadening formation here. Looking to take this one up to about the $52, $53 level. And I'll reassess things once I get to that level. But yeah, I think $52 is a good target range. I think last time it broke to this area, it was about 51.49 was the high that it made. So I'll be watching out for that one as well. But again, upside moves, you just need to be thinking conservatively. Don't be thinking the market's turning around because of 200 EMA is there. That ain't enough. So just be cautious with your money, players. Next one, we're gonna talk about Dollar Tree, DLTR. Setting up on the Dollar Tree with the inside week. We've been smacking the hell out of DG. I haven't even looked at the position on DG. I would imagine it's got to be about 400% or 500% by now. Me and Cam G been in there for a few weeks. But yeah, whenever we both had it on our list, or we both were targeting that play, so that's just one we've been in. It's running mate, Dollar Tree is what I'm focused on today. And we got this inside week looking at a 212 above 157.92. This one here, we're just looking at it as a potential sympathy play. The setup is not as strong as Dollar General setup, so really looking at it as a sympathy. If it triggers, I think it will push, but there's no guarantee it's going to do what Dollar General is doing. So don't think in that context. Again, could be a potential sympathy play here. So let's get down. Last one I want to talk about. I turn it back over to you, FICO, and that is Southern Company, SO. We had a nice drop actually on SO. Dropped us all the way down to like $64.79, which is a super buy level. And accordingly, it was bought up. It bounced off a broadening formation level right around this $65 range. And I mean, just took off this past week, broke through some major broadening formations. Now we're looking at a reversal potentially back to the upside on the week above $70.04. I'll be looking at that one potentially to take, if I can get a trade on this one, maybe down to the September, October range. Maybe that would be it. I was maybe to the end of the year, maybe something like that. But I like this price range, and I like this setup, along with like its seasonality and everything. So SO Southern Company, that's one of those utility plays we were talking about yesterday, just to keep your eye on. And again, just be mindful. Energy could move up this week, and it's just at a low level at that major drop. So we'll see what happens. But that's all I'm monitoring so far this week. I'm not really trying to get too tricky with it. I think we got enough irons in the fire right now, so I'm not really trying to throw too much new stuff out there. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, FICO.
Appreciate that resume. Ladies and gentlemen, you got the heat. I hope that you had your notepad ready. I hope that you took notes on these levels. Make sure you draw these broadening formations. And Wealthy Soon, can you let the general public know specifically the homework assignment that you gave Alpha Pack before coming into the weekend? Let the general public know what exactly should they be doing and looking for, seeing as how we're ending June, coming to the middle point of the year.
Man, what they need to be doing is looking at the macros. We're about to go into a new quarter. Top-down approach, not bottoms-up approach. Don't just start looking at individual tickers. That ain't going to help you get nowhere to really know where the money is. So, a top-down approach. Use those macros and figure out where broadening formations are. Figure out who got the best setup, and you have one.
You got it. That's your assignment. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of these plays going forward. We've been giving out free chicken for over a year now. Now, one thing that we don't do every week that I want you to do, if you're not a member of Alpha Pack, you might have questions. Hit in the comment box. We'll answer any questions that you have. That's what we are here to do, is to educate. Like Investing for Legacy says, we want you to be a more confident and independent trader. Legacy, why do we want them to be a confident, independent trader as a part of Alpha Pack?
Oh man, because that's the only way. If you in any other group and they telling you otherwise, telling you just be patient, wait on me to call something, wait on me to tell you to get out, that they setting you up for the okie doke. And we know the truth, and we're not about that at the Alpha Pack. We too straightforward. We cut from a certain type of cloth, and we want to we want to empower the people to be their own selves. That's what this market is made for. But for any alpha should be able to go find a meal at any point in the day, at any point in the year, and go feed their family. And that's what we do it for, baby. That's why we do it. That's what Alpha Pack is all about. Is we developing some straight hunters, some straight killers. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, baby. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this place, we're powerful alone. We're stronger together. We'll see you next week. Have a great weekend. Peace.